Hi fellow sim racers, and welcome to another video that I should have really made over the summer. Today I'm taking a look at the Race Sim Studio 2018 Formula 2 car mod for Assetto Corsa, an excellent car that I just didn't have time to make a video about when it was first released. This is the Dallara GP211, or as most people probably know it, the old GP2 car. And it's probably fair to say that by the time it was retired at the end of the 2017 season, it was getting a bit long in the tooth. While Formula 1 had moved with the times a few years prior and adopted a small turbocharged power unit, the feeder series car was left with a 4-litre V8 that was designed in the early 2000s, which made it a bit of an outlier. But it turns out that motorsport fans really do like a bit of an outlier. And while the last few Formula 1 seasons have been contested by cars that sound more like domestic cleaning appliances, the love for the old GP2 car and its sonorous mechachrome lump grew and grew. So, by the time that Race Sim Studio released their version of the GP2 car for Assetto Corsa, I was already a big fan. And their representation of the car was, to put it simply, magnificent. But progress is relentless, and having a feeder series that was becoming increasingly out of sync with its big brother meant that the 2011 car was very much living on borrowed time. Enter the Dallara F2 2018. Gone is the glorious V8, replaced instead by a very on-trend turbo V6, and the rather uninspiring sounds that are part and parcel of such a trade. And on top of that, there's the Halo, which, no matter your views on driver safety, probably isn't going to win any awards for its aesthetic impact. Which is a shame, because otherwise it's a much better looking chassis than its predecessor. So it's probably fair to say that the 2018 car doesn't yet inspire the same type of devotion from motorsport fans as its predecessor. And a spate of high profile clutch problems probably hasn't helped matters either. But as sim racers, we get to view such things from a slightly different perspective. And all of the stuff I've been talking about thus far in the video is really just peripheral to what really matters, how the car drives and the type of racing it produces. And that's where things start to get interesting. This is the latest in a long line of absolutely top draw cars from Race Sim Studio, and despite the shortcomings of the real world equivalent, this is one of, if not the best single-seater car in sim racing today. Something I've always admired about the RSS cars is that they seem to defy some of the handling characteristics that are common to Assetto Corsa cars. This may just be down to their approach to stock setups, which favour a more lively car, but whatever the case, when you first jump into a Race Sim Studio car, you know you're going to be driving something that feels very alive, active, and to use a bit of a cliche, visceral. The previous car was a real favourite of mine in the handling department, but the new model just drives that little bit better. It's hard to describe really, so you're going to have to take my word for it, but the package overall feels more direct, more believable to this layman. What this car manages to communicate, perhaps better than most, is the feeling of needing to push just that little bit harder to generate more downforce and more grip when you think the car's already on the limit. The RSS team have always been known for producing cars that look as good as they drive. And as with every other aspect of this mod, the team have managed to build upon their already impressive work on previous releases. This car is an absolute work of art. The quality of the modelling is second to none, and the textures are very impressive indeed. Honestly, this is work that speaks for itself, which is why I've tried to let the pictures do the talking here. I should point out that the already impressive car is further improved by the addition of a pack of true-to-life Formula 2 skins produced by Dave Williams on Race Department that I've used throughout this video. These are every bit the same level of quality as the car, and they're a must as far as I'm concerned, so there's a link in the video description. As far as racing with this car goes, it delivers everything you'd hope from a junior Formula single-seater. The car's tricky enough to keep you working at it, and provides a rewarding drive, but not the kind of knife-edge horror show that keeps you from getting in the game. And based on my testing at least, close racing with the AI is more than doable, though you may want to keep the aggression under 50%. Moving on, and there are a couple of technical aspects that I should highlight. Firstly, you can disable the halo in the setup menu, which may be desirable depending on your setup. Furthermore, a nice addition to this car is the ability to cycle through dashboard displays. You can do this in the setup menu, but it can also be adjusted in-car using whichever button or key you have bound to the lights, something you rarely see in Assetto Corsa. Thanks to Chuck Does Hotlaps for pointing that out. He's a bit of a single-seater specialist, and you should check out his YouTube channel if you want to see how to drive this car properly, so there's a link in the video description. Is this the most exciting car that Race Sim Studio has ever produced? No. But it's still a great car to drive, and as a simulation of a race car, it's absolutely sublime. It looks stunning, it drives tight, and it feels absolutely spot on. But that's what we've come to expect from the RSS guys. For me though, what's impressive about this mod isn't the fact that it's impressive. No, it's that the RSS team have found areas to improve upon their previous efforts. The modelling is beautiful, the textures give a believable impression of the various materials, and the physics feel even tighter and more precise than ever. In fact, the only area where the car isn't an improvement is the sound, and that's the FIA's fault. This is really impressive work. If you're interested in trying out the Race Sim Studio Formula 2 V6 car for yourself, then it's available for €3.99 from their online store. They also throw in the old GP2 car as well, which is itself a fantastic car. As always, there's a link in the video description along with a link to Dave Williams' excellent skin pack that was used throughout. So that brings us to the end of this video. In my next video, I'm going to be taking a look at the new Ferrari 488 GT3 for Assetto Corsa Competizione and giving it the usual gratuitous overuse of slow motion footage treatment. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then it would be great if you could hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you think the video will be helpful for others, then please consider sharing it. As always, thank you for donating your precious free time by watching. It is very much appreciated. So all that's left to say is goodbye, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.